Okay, good morning, everyone. So fun day yesterday. We seen the markets continue to move higher and pretty much close at our weekly high range. Okay, so our weekly high range that we had set for last we set this on Sunday was at 45.55. Okay, and that's exactly where SPX closed, and that's exactly where level three bullish was. Okay, so interesting to see that our numbers continue to align, right? Weekly high over there, and we pretty much can see it right over here. Okay, so just keep an eye on this because the 45.55 level, it's going to be tough here, and we pretty much see SPX futures moving slow here, and pretty much what we're looking at right now is some stocks that are moving. Okay, so the stocks that are moving the market pretty much are NOW here, Snow, and all of that. Snow actually got an upgrade today. Okay, so and that's why it's pretty much up 2%. And another stock that's moving is starting to move is Tesla. So Tesla up now. It was actually in the negative before at 295. Okay, so the 300 calls are probably going to be up nicely because now that is trading near the high of the day if it opens around this price. Yesterday also Tesla actually went to 298 pre-market and then dropped at that point. Okay, so interesting to see that very close to 300. Not sure if they break it out here, but the thing here is that you want to be careful about is that if it hits 300, what happens next? Do we get a massive amount of sellers, or do we pop the overall market, right? The key things that really matter with Tesla earnings, of course, the deliveries are known. The important thing here has to do with the delivery of their Cybertruck, so that has been rolling out. They're producing more. So we want to hear what the guidance is on that. Another thing that's important to know is their margins, right? So because they've launched the Cybertruck, the margins are going to be very important. Okay, and the price point as well. So there's a lot of orders that are pending for the delivery truck, I think around 1 million or so. And that is going to definitely add additional revenue and going to give some sort of guidance on the overall stock here. Okay, but if you look at the stock here, we have the 320 calls, which are going for around $3-4. I called out that at around $2, but now they're at 3. They could probably even go to 5 today. So for small accounts, it's going to be a little bit tough because I also gave the 330 calls as for small accounts. So if you aren't in, you're going to have to pay a hefty price here if you do like it. So the premiums are expensive, which does suggest that if margins are down and there's a good, strong guidance with revenue and EPS beat, we can see this stock hit 350, very possible. And pretty much I plan to swing my calls because if we do get 350, then pretty much my 300 calls are going to be worth 50 plus. Okay, so I'm okay to take on that risk. So let's see what happens with regards to that. Microsoft, 360, stopped at around 367 last night. So let's see if you can break through the highs of that. We're looking into that as well. So it's pretty much calmed down at around 358 here. We took some lottos on this as well too because of Netflix earnings that are coming up. Netflix earnings can move big tech, so that's what we're going to be using as a sympathy. It's not 100% correlation, but it's pretty much there. ENPH is green pre-market. This is above the yesterday high here. So I'm looking at this stock here, trying to see if it can gap above 190. Okay, so that looks interesting. If Tesla earnings are good, there's a little bit of correlation between Tesla and ENPH, not 100% correlation, but I do believe there'll be somewhat of move, maybe between 3 to 5% or even 2% pop that we're looking at. So that's pretty much what I'm holding that for. Okay. Meta stock, they're partnering with Microsoft, with some AI tool development and coding and all of that. So, that's interesting to see here. If I was to, I would avoid playing the downside now, and pretty much that trade was profitable, but we didn't even end up selling it for a loss. It was pretty good, and we scaled back from yesterday, so made around 80% and scaled back, and we sold the runners as soon as that news came out, because it's hard for big techs to go down now because of the overall AI space run again. Okay. So it's important to know that when the news is there, every stock is going to be trending. They're all moving together. We're seeing, Snow, MDB, all these cloud stocks, all these chip stocks like SMCI that all involve AI are literally pushing the market higher. Okay. So when that happens, you don't want to play against the trend. You want to take the profits or whatever you have because it's better to allocate your capital some other place. So that's an important lesson that to consider when it comes to trading. Okay. So in terms of that here, we got some economic numbers from Europe. Okay. The CPI report came in. Sorry about that. The CPI report came in from Europe, Great Britain, and confirms that inflation is moving lower here. Okay. So far, that doesn't really necessarily mean that they're going to stop their rate hikes because it's still too high, but it is going down. Okay. And that adds some bullish case to the overall scenario here. Their year over year came at 8.2%. 2 months ago, it was around 10%. Okay. So it's starting to drop here. And, my personal feeling is that these rate hikes that are going to come, they're going to continue to hurt. And if we do get to that point where, the inflation goes, or the CPI number goes to the Fed's number, but they still continue to hike rates, that's when I think capitulation can happen here. Okay. So be aware of that. We are going to get some more economic numbers next week. Is the FOMC. Don't worry, I know I mentioned that I'm on vacation on Wednesday, but my flight's after the market because I got a family wedding to go to. But I did it in a way where I leave Wednesday after market, so that way I will be trading here as well. Okay, so keep that in mind for now, because we got a lot of stuff happening with the FOMC for next week. And earnings as well. There's Microsoft earnings, all of that stuff happening next week as well, along with the interest rate announcement. Besides that, we got the unemployment claims as well, starting tomorrow as well. Okay. Nothing else other than that for now. Okay. But key things I'm looking at right now, I think the market may take a little bit of breather today, because if you guys look at the overall SPX, it's near our weekly range. Our weekly range is premiums that I'm looking at. They're not even adding a lot of premiums on that. Okay, it's around $20 for the Friday expiration here, and pretty much it's chilling at my high. So this is where I'm looking over here. Okay, so 45.55 call for Friday expiration is near the top here. So let's see if we see a little bit of pullback today. Okay, I'm still going to be strong in my positions, but I'm going to be very patient today, because we got Tesla and all of that. So if you guys aren't in Tesla, just be patient, because you might get that opportunity to do so. Okay. So the reason why I say it's going to be, possibly a slow day today, okay, has to do with the range I'm looking at. Okay. So there's this range that we see here from between 45.46 and 45.60. 75. Okay, if we break outside those ranges, then the market can start going. 45.60 seems like the area that's going to pin here for today. Okay, so I'll be looking at that. Yesterday, the market had a 30-point range too, but it broke out because of that Microsoft news. Okay, the market was moving very slow off banks. It was even at level 1 bullish, and then when the Microsoft news came, banks were strong and techs were strong, and that's what took up the market yesterday. Okay, and that's why we closed at level 3 bullish, because that's the top of the market that we estimate where the positions are. If news or something comes out, that's where it's likely to go. Okay, so be on the lookout for any additional mega cap news or anything like that that can really take the market up higher. Very possible. Okay, we still have a bullish sentiment overall on the market, but so far we just have to give it some time, because with Netflix and Tesla earnings, it does kind of feel like today might be a breather day where they might just trade it sideways and a little bit of down action from now. Okay, because SPX is slightly in the green, and want to see if they bring it down to the 45-46 support here. Okay, so depending on if 45-46 happens, might be a good idea, or to possibly add a scalp call trade. So I'll be definitely considering that for now, right? Funny thing is, I was even, because I don't look at these charts when I make my option model, but pretty much this 45-46 is very close to this R2 pivot point, and same thing as this R1 pivot point. Okay, so interesting to kind of see that on the downside, because I absolutely do not look at this. I pretty much lay my analysis on my numbers that I have on the premium chart, and when I get that, I put it on this, and so far it's aligning. Okay, so make sure you guys mark down these levels in your chart as well, so that way you guys know what to go off of. Okay, so 45-46 strong support, 45-36 as well is a good support as well. So keep an eye out for that, and let's see what happens. Okay, so Tesla earnings today, Netflix earnings. If you guys are happy with the profits, scale back, take some, or roll, up to you. I'm going to stick with what I got, and I'm going to be true to my words, even if I'm up $1 million. Okay, well, if I'm up $1 million somehow, and then I may take profits, but highly doubt it. So I would say that if I'm up 200%, I'll scale back on Tesla. Other than that, I'm going to hold strong and wait till the earnings situation. Okay, so that's all I got for you guys. Thanks for tuning in. See you guys in the chat, and let's get that money.